Okay, guys, so we are going to work on IXL skill N9. I'm going to do some problems for you. You have to get to a 60 SMART score. Okay, a 60 SMART score. So let's look at this first problem. So, what we have to point out first is that they're telling us that this is a square. Okay, so that means that it's going to follow the rules of a square. So you might have to get, your notes or get something out to remind yourself of the rules of a square, before you answer the questions of this problem. So it asks for the angle TSW. So TSW. Okay. What we know about a square, first of all, is that all of the angles are right angles. So this whole angle right here is a right angle. Okay? We also know that these diagonals bisect that angle. So that means that the blue part, which is the angle that we're trying to find, is half of 90 degrees because that cuts it in half. So half of 90 degrees is 45. So that means that that angle that we're trying to find right there, TSW, is 45 degrees because it's half of 90. Okay, so let's look at this problem. So this asks me, it says it's a square, right? So I need to keep in mind the rules of a square, and it wants to know the measure of TV. So TV is going to go from here all the way across. Okay? I know that the diagonals bisect each other. So these diagonals cut each other in half. So that means that if this side right here is 32, then that means that this side over here is also going to be 32. And if it wants the whole purple line, I need to add that first 32 plus the second 32. And 32 plus 32 is 64. So TV should equal 64. Okay? They're telling us that this is also a square, and it wants to know the measure of TWX. So TWX. Okay, we know that whole thing is 90 degrees. So this half right here is going to be half of 90, which is 45 degrees. So that means that angle that they're looking for that I just highlighted in green is 45 degrees. Okay? So they're telling me this time that this quadrilateral is a rectangle. So we need to make sure that we follow the rules of a rectangle. Then they give us some measurements. So let's label what they're saying. They say that GK, which is right here, is T plus 37. And that JK is 2T. Okay, so something that we know, and then wants to know the value of T. So we need to set up some kind of equation based on what we know here. What we know about a rectangle is that its diagonals are congruent. So that means that this little piece that I have in purple and this little piece that I have in pink, they're going to be congruent. They're going to be equal. So I should be able to set those up equal to each other. Okay, so I'm going to put 2T is equal to T plus 37. And then I just solve for T. I need to get all my T's to one side. So T minus T. 2T minus T is just T. These crossed out. So T is going to equal 37. And that's what they wanted me to find. They said, what is the value of T? So I'm going to put 37. So it says this quadrilateral is a square. So I need to, think about square rules. And it wants to know the value of t. So it gives me this side and it gives me this side that they have labeled with little expressions. We know that all sides of a square are equal. So to set up this equation, I can just put these two sides equal to each other. So I have t plus 7 equals 2t. I just put this side equal to this side. Okay, then I solve. I need to get all my t's on one side. So I'm going to take this t and I'm going to subtract. These cross out. So I'm left with 7 equals 2t minus t is just t. So the value of t is 7. Okay? This quadrilateral is a rectangle. So we need to follow the rectangle rules. It says FH, which I'm going to label right here. Let's do that in this pink color. FH is 5U. FI is U plus 28. Okay, and I just got those from right up here, guys. And wants to know the value of U. So we just did a problem like this. So we know that the diagonals in rectangles are congruent, right? So that means that these little parts of their diagonals are also going to be congruent. So I just need to set these two expressions equal to each other. So 5U, that's this pink one, is equal to U plus 28. Those should be equal. They should be the same. So I'm putting them equal to each other. Now I've got to solve. I'm going to get both the u's on the same side. So 5u minus u is 4u, and that's going to equal 28. So I divide by 4, divide by 4. So 28 divided by 4 is 7. So u equals 7. And that's what they wanted me to find. Find the value of u. Okay? Quadrilateral BCDE, it says, is a square. It says it's a square, so it's going to follow all of the square rules. Wants to know the value of x. So if this is a square, then we know that all four sides are equal. So that means that this side that they have labeled as x plus 78 is going to be equal to this side, which is 7x. So to find the value of x, I've got to set up an equation. Well, I'm just going to set these two sides equal to each other because I know that they're supposed to be the same. So x plus 78 is this side equals 7x. Okay, let's try to get all of these x's to one side. So minus x minus x. So then I have 78 equals 7x minus x is going to be 6x. So now that I have 70, I need to divide by 6, divide by 6, and 78 divided by 6 is 13. So that means that 13 equals x. So it asked me to find the value of x. It's 13. So I'm going to put 13. Okay? It says that this quadrilateral is a rectangle. Okay? It says it's a rectangle, so it's going to follow the rectangle rules. RT is C plus 20. So let's put that in a different color. So RT is going to be C plus 20. And ST is going to be 5C. Okay? So we've had a problem like this, so since this is a rectangle, I know that its diagonals are the same, which means these little pieces of the diagonals are the same. So I can just set those two expressions equal to each other because I know that they're supposed to be congruent. So I'm going to have 5c equals c plus 20. Solve it. So minus c minus c. 5c minus c is going to be 4c equals 20. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So C is going to equal 5 because 20 divided by 4 is 5. So it says C equals, I'm going to enter a 5, and I'm to a 60 smart score, so I am finished. The main thing is, guys, you just got to look and see what kind of quadrilateral it is, and then follow those rules. Let me know if you guys need any help. See you later.